Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, January the 15th. We are halfway through January already. And being Wednesday, we are going to be looking at the new releases that are in the romance realm. We do a different genre every day of the work week, Monday through Friday. And today is love. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday nights. We will have them next on tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, and they will go for 2.5 hours. After that, our next one is on a Saturday afternoon, every Tuesday and Thursday evening, and Saturday afternoons. Well, let's hop into some love. Excuse me. First up, Let's Call a Truce by Amy Buchanan. Looks like a workplace romance. After Juliana Ryan's husband dies unexpectedly, leaving her with 2 grieving kids and a stunted career from years as a stay-at-home mom, she has no choice but to make it work all on her own. But her confidence crashes around her when she overhears her condescending but infuriatingly attractive new colleague, Ben Thomas, talking about how her kids and inexperience are a liability the company can't afford. This sets off a feud between the two as Juliana vows to prove him wrong. 2 years later, their feud rages on, but it may be charged with something they aren't willing to admit. When they are forced onto a career-making project together, Juliana has no choice but to call a truce. As their lives become more intertwined in and out of the office, Juliana finds it hard to ignore Ben's perpetual smile and charming determination. What started as a truce grows into more as boardrooms clearing arguments turn to desk-clearing kisses. Could the man she deemed her nemesis understand her life, her stress, and responsibilities better than anyone? But just when Juliana decides to open her heart again, Ben's past threatens their newfound bliss, and she has to figure out whether the second chance at love is worth it after all. Kind of a different premise. Took 2 years. Usually it's insta-love, insta-lust. Once Smitten, Twice Shy, third in the Wilmot Sisters by Chloe Leese. This is a reimagining of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. Since heartbreak entered the scene, Juliet Wilmot, once a hopeless romantic, has sworn off love. But when she's presented with the chance to revisit romance purely for practice with the gorgeous off-limits guy she keeps serendipitously running into, it feels like a sign from the universe. Quiet, shy Will Orsino knows happily ever after isn't on his horizon. Problem is, for the sake of the family business, marriage is. Resigned to the inevitable, but with no confidence he can woo a wife, he can hardly say no when fate hands him the alluring, unattainable woman he keeps crossing paths with, offering to help him learn the ropes of romance. Neither of them looking for love, Jules and Will agree they're the perfect pair to practice romance, except that practicing to perfection leads to an irresistible attraction. Their once smitten hearts, though still twice shy, might have happily ever after written in the stars for them after all. Play Flirty by Shamiz Patel. For Rosemary Jones, risks are a hard no, except for game night. For one precious evening a week, Rose can forget about her demanding boss and her lackluster love life and focus on beating the pants off her friends, but none of them brings out her hyper-competitive side quite like William Ashton. Her best friend's half-brother, William, is the paragon of a sexy nerd. The tall, dorky, and handsome game designer is Rose's playing nemesis. But when Rose decides to enter contests with the board game she secretly invented, there's only one person who can help her win. Now what has always been a game between Rose and William is getting a lot more serious. And after spending her entire life trying not to lose, Rose may finally be ready to risk it all and play to win. Unromance by Erin Connor. Sawyer Green knows romance. She's a best-selling author of the genre, or she was, until her ex left her with nothing but writer's block and a broken heart. But when she gets stuck in the elevator with a handsome stranger, she sees their meet-cute for what it is, just a one-night stand. It might have worked, too, if they could stop running into each other. Actor Mason West sees Sawyer's reappearance in his life as a sign. Obviously, they're meant to cure each other. Him of the hopeless romanticism that only ends in heartbreak and tabloid train wrecks, and Sawyer of her writer's block. Their agreement is simple. 1, no more sex, and 2, no matter how swoony the circumstances, absolutely no falling in love. It's a foolproof plan until Lawyer and Mason find that once set in motion, some plots can't be stopped, and that they might be hurtling towards a happy ending. End of row 1. Work in Progress by Kat McKenzie. UK bus trip goals. Crawl out of pajamas. Get over cheating bastard and his stupid ironed jeans. Have my first real adventure. Achieve stability, strength, and growth. Definitely do not kiss any British men. Alice loves a good list, but careful planning didn't stop her from losing her job and her fiancé in one fell swoop. With her dreaded 30th birthday looming on the horizon, Alice makes the first impulsive decision of her life, booking a flight to the UK for a 3-week all-female literary bus tour. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out, everything. Alice arrives to discover this tour isn't what she expected at all. Instead of cool, globe-trotting 30-somethings with meaningful tattoos, she finds a rickety, antique bus full of fluffy-haired octogenarians. And to make matters infinitely worse, the tour guide makes her blood boil, and that devilish grin of his tells her he's dead set on making her trip a misery. But as the travel from castle ruins to cozy pubs, Alice may just find that she's got it all wrong. The ladies are vivacious, the book club chat is on fire, and damn if that mischievous smile doesn't threaten to turn her world upside down and her beloved list right along with it. Sounds cute. But you know I have snarky thoughts. I won't say them. Dr. Alaska. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? You're great. Oh, good to hear. Oh, you betcha. Let's see. Dr. Alaska by Gillian David. Yukon Valley, Alaska Hospital Series, book number 1. And it's the tagline that got me interested. It says, Grey's Anatomy meets Northern Exposure. Northern Exposure. Loved that show. Lee Tipton, MD, takes running from her past to an extreme, hot-footing it from Georgia to a temporary position at Yukon Valley Hospital in Chile, Alaska. Her newly purchased winter gear may protect her from the elements, but no amount of insulation can protect her from her deep-seated fear that a romantic partner will once again use her for personal gains. Despite the hospital staff's matchmaking efforts, Lee swears she has no interest in her town's cocky lead paramedic, even if his sexy smile sets off palpitations. Maverick Steen learns his one simple rule of romance the hard way: no dating outsiders. That includes the hospital's newest fish-out-of-water doctor, whom he finds himself paired with as they navigate critical care cases and snowmobile accidents. Yet when Lee embraces the beauty in the Alaskan interior and cottons to his sled dog team of misfits, suddenly Maverick's heart and his bed feel a whole lot warmer. But can they say yes to love before Lee's assignment ends? Extreme Romancing in Idaho by Bonnie Jo Pearson, second in the Clear Springs Romance series. Angie Johnson wants nothing more than to keep her parents' struggling Idaho farm running, maintain her career as a NICU nurse, and find a man to marry before her father passes away from cancer. Unfortunately, even if she had time to meet someone, the online dating world is full of dead ends. That is, until she meets Daniel Smoot, a man ready to settle down on her timeline. Unfortunately, in order to reel him in, Angie may have told him a little white lie that she, who is afraid of heights, is very into extreme sports. Remington James III has his own set of problems, and finding a woman is not one. He's in town to convince Angie's parents to sell their land to his family's development company. In order to get on their good side, he takes a job at the farm and volunteers to help Angie snag Smoot by training her in extreme sports and the intricate art of seduction. What he doesn't plan on is falling for the woman whose life he's been ordered to uproot. That does not sound like a healthy situation. Flirting with Disaster by Naina Kumar. It's been years since Mina separated from her husband, Nikhil. Years since they first laid eyes on each other in their home state of Texas. Years since they spontaneously wed in Las Vegas, and she felt true happiness. Now, a high-powered lawyer on Capitol Hill and ready to move on, at least she thinks so, with another successful lawyer, Sheikh, Mina has returned to Texas, this time finally to obtain a divorce. But there's one thing Mina didn't account for, a hurricane forming in the Gulf, veering right toward them and giving them no choice but to hunker down in the home they had built together. Suddenly, she finds herself trapped amid gale force winds and pelting rain with the man she once loved. As they spend more time together, Mina begins to remember everything that drew her to Nikhil, his small-town charm, his thoughtful nature, his absurdly good looks. But being with Sheikh makes sense to her. He's steady, ambitious, and wants exactly what she wants. So she'll stick to her plan, come hell or high water. But will her windswept heart make the right choice once the eye passes over and the storm settles? End of row 2. His Girl Hollywood by Maureen Lee Lenker. Arlene Morgan has always dreamed of being a movie director, like so many women in the silent era before her. But when Evett Studios finally gives her a shot, a rare thing in 1930s Hollywood, she's dismayed to discover that her leading man is none other than Don Lamont from Singing in the Rain. Born Don Lazzarini, Don was Arlene's next-door neighbor growing up, two best friends with two big dreams. He's the only man she's ever loved, except he abandoned her to pursue his dance career in New York, and she hasn't seen or heard from him since. But Don, despite his Broadway success, has been caught under the thumb of his gangster manager, Frankie Martino, for the last 8 years, unable to come home. When he gets offered a role in a Hollywood picture, he leaps at the chance to free himself once and for all. But clashing with his director, the girl he once knew as Lena, leaves him scrambling to find his footing. As the two unpack old wounds and struggle to work together, Don starts to realize Lena might have been his dream girl all along, but she doesn't know about Frankie, and getting her involvement in his contract would put her in danger too. It's going to take quite the footwork to prove his feelings and help make Arlene's picture a success before Frankie takes drastic measures to keep his most valuable leading man. Lots of issue there, but the biggest one is the guy's name, Don Lamont. No, she combined two. She combined Lena Lamont with Don Gene Kelly's character. Just finished my 4 books yesterday. Congratulations. You know what? We'll give it to you. Yay! Congratulations! Woo! Good job, Elena. Good morning, Stormy. How's it going? We are looking at love. The Favorites by Lane Fargo. She might not have a famous name, funding, or her family's support, but Katerina Shaw has always known that she was destined to become an Olympic skater. When she meets Heath Roca, a lonely kid stuck in the foster care system, their instant connection makes them a formidable duo on the ice. Clinging to skating and to each other to escape their turbulent lives, Kat and Heath go from childhood sweethearts to champion ice dancers, captivating the world with their scorching chemistry, rebellious style, and roller coaster relationship, until a shocking incident at the Olympic Games brings their partnership to a sudden end. At the 10-year anniversary of their final skate approaches, an unauthorized documentary reignites the public obsession with Shaw and Roca, claiming to uncover the real story through interviews with their closest friends and fiercest rivals. Kat wants nothing to do with the documentary, but she can't stand the thought of someone else defining her legacy. So, after a decade of silence, she tells her story, from the childhood tragedies that created her all-consuming bond with Heath to the clash of desires that tore them apart. Sensational rumors have haunted their every step for years, but the truth may be even more shocking than the headlines. And it just dawned on me that this picture is them doing a skating move. It's probably not a great read, but I'm kind of intrigued. Not necessarily saying it's not a good read, just that it might be very sensationalized, is all I'm saying. Storm tired, laying in bed, not wanting to get up. Oh, I am with you. I woke up at 3:50 this morning, had to go use the bathroom. I said, oh good, I've got an hour, a little over an hour until my alarm goes off. When my alarm went off, it was painful, man. I did not want to. The Reunion by Beth Rickles. 10 years after graduating, the class of 2014 are back at Tisdale Comprehensive for the reunion, packed into a school gym full of familiar faces and plenty of new secrets. Most likely to end up together, Sean and Steph were once each other's first love. Now they're settled and planning the perfect wedding to other people. Could reconnecting spark a new romance? Most likely to become famous. Brienne was supposed to travel the world, rule the West End, have a dazzling career as a TV actress. Now she's a drama teacher who's exaggerated her whole life on Instagram and is desperate to save face. Most likely to succeed. Hayden was told he'd achieve great things, like be on the cover of Time, win a Nobel Prize, or the accolade his daughters just awarded him, world's best dad. Is it too late for him to turn things around, and more importantly, does he even want to? You're only, what, like 28 people? Good Lord, get perspective. Most likely to kill each other. Ashley was an A-plus student and Ryan the star of the school rugby team. After years of putting each other down, they left school, each convinced they would have the better life. Now that old rivalry finds them drawn back together in a new intoxicating way, one they're both determined to hide. With an evening of power cuts, fire alarms, sneaking off to explore classrooms in the dark, stolen kisses, and heated fights, it's like they never left at all. And the last one we have for today is With This Ring by Amy Clipston. Dakota thought she had left her dreams of happily ever after behind, along with the pain of a broken engagement to her high school sweetheart Hudson. Now, as the proud owner of Fairyland Bridal Shop in the picturesque town of Flowering Grove, she's built a life and a business on helping brides find their perfect dress for their own fairy tale weddings. But running a small business is not for the faint of heart, and when her ex-fiancé unexpectedly returns to town with a mission to put a stop to his sister's wedding, Dakota's problems go from bad to worse. Hudson Garrity should be living his dream. After selling his software company, he's single, handsome, and rich. But an unexpected call from his baby sister has him flying down to his hometown, determined to protect Layla from yet another big mistake. Though he's single-minded in his efforts to derail the nuptials, he instead finds himself thrown into family chaos and roped into helping his sister with her plans, bringing him once more into contact with Dakota Jameson, the one who got away. For Hudson, coming home means revisiting his painful childhood, repairing a strained relationship with his sister, and coming face to face with the woman he never stopped loving. For Dakota, it means confronting the tender memories she buried deep within her heart. As Layla's wedding date draws close, the two reunited lovers begin to question if what went wrong between them really happened the way they remembered it at all. Will they continue believing the lies they've told themselves, or will they remain forever entangled in the threads of what could have been? And that is all we have. Of the ones here, I will probably look more into Dr. Alaska by Gillian David, just because of the Northern Exposure comparison. And maybe The Favorites by Lane Fargo, the ice dancing one. So not an entire wash of things. But that is all the romance we have for today. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. In fact, Wednesday night is when I watch the Tuesday night episode of The Rookie, now that that is back on TV. I watch it via Amazon Prime. I don't watch any real TV other than that show I got hooked on. Storm says, "This girl Hollywood sounds interesting." It does. I hope they can pull it off. I love the time period and the movies of that time period. I hope they do it well. See you tomorrow, Elena. You too. Have a good day. Storm says, "Have a good day. You have a good day too. If you want to stay in bed, tell them I said it's okay." And I will not be able to make it tonight. Okay. Okay. Well, we will see you then tomorrow. Maybe we will have sprints tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for 2.5 hours. Sometimes I start early, like I did last night, if things go in my favor. And there's the alarm. All right, guys, have a very good day. Stay warm, stay safe, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.